What is up, guys? I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and welcome to some more r/am I the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description below and along the timeline, but if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too, as it all really helps out our channel. And as I say every day, thank you for your support to this channel. Coming here every day, taking the time out of your day to sit there and listen to me is just absolutely crazy, and I'm so appreciative of that. Thank you so much. And as some of you pointed out yesterday, yes, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so I do sound slightly stuffy. I do apologise for that. Hopefully it'll clear up in the next couple of days. But with that being said, let's get on with today's stories. Much love, guys. And to kick us off, we had a request yesterday from Princess Lulu, who said, please feature this story in a future Am I the Arsehole post. And then linked it and said, it's so bizarre and interesting, and I think it would be a great choice, especially since I haven't seen anyone cover this story. So, let's do it. Am I the arsehole for wanting my daughter to give an inherited apartment to her disabled aunt? My very mentally ill brother died recently. He spent his money on properties, all of which he poorly understood what he was buying and didn't maintain at all. The entire estate essentially breaks even except for one property, which was willed to my daughter. Basically put, he invested in a luxury hotel chain that was supposed to have a residential portion. He did this in exchange for a unit in the building. He mostly did it to help out his friend and didn't understand the true value of what he was buying, as he thought all cities were trash. The residential portion didn't quite pan out, but he still received ownership of a unit. The unit is essentially a one-bedroom apartment complete with a full kitchen, due to a combination of zoning, grandfathering, and the deal made. It would only cost $500 a month to live there, utilities and taxes included, with access to all hotel amenities and services, including daily housekeeping if desired, and car service, in a major city. It's an amazing deal, would save us so much money and help her situation, but I don't think she should take it. My brother's ex-wife, who like the rest of the family is getting nothing, is disabled, at least partly due to him, and she really needs financial assistance. Renting this place out for $1,400 a month would be an incredibly cheap deal considering location and amenities. That would mean at least $900 a month could go to the aunt's situation. My daughter is perfectly welcome to live at the home if she needs to, and a lot of the family thinks the aunt deserves money to live over my daughter getting the very cheap apartment. I know it's a sacrifice, but I would think sacrificing for your family is above undeserved luxury and a concept of freedom. She's fuming that nobody supports her and feels torn about feeling forced to choose between a future that she in no way needs to do this for, and her family. Edit, I can't legally force anything, and the aunt needs to stay in her home state for her children's group homes. Second edit, it's come to my attention that this may actually cost her money and / or be a second job. If so, then the situation becomes much more than asking her to sacrifice an optional luxury like I and the rest of the family originally thought. It's hard to strike a balance between helping out someone who got screwed over here and also helping my daughter, or at least having her break even. It seems insane to me that handing someone a luxury apartment while an abused woman gets nothing would be a cheaper and easier option, but that may mathematically be the case. I will try to get the numbers, and if it is the case, I will advocate for my daughter to live there. Now, my initial thoughts on this one is that, firstly, you just can't give away someone else's inheritance like that. Sure, this woman was his ex, but under what circumstances did that happen? So you can't just say to someone, look, you need to hand over your inheritance because it's just not fair. Surely you got some of that inheritance too. Why don't you hand her your portion of it if you're that concerned, you know? I may be totally wrong in that opinion, but I'm not totally sure. That was my initial thoughts on this. And as I said, I'm always willing to be educated, so feel free. But let's go to the comments below to see what we can find. Terry Saz says, you're the arsehole, it isn't your property to give away. If you want your sister-in-law to have a place to live, let her live in your home. Miley30 says, if you feel so strongly that your brother's ex needs support, why don't you use your own money to support her, rather than trying to guilt your daughter into doing it? You're the arsehole. Sophia's Secret says, you're the arsehole, it's your daughter's inheritance, it's not yours. You may think it could be put to better, more charitable use, but your daughter obviously wants to personally benefit from her inheritance and doesn't agree with your idea. Choosing to be charitable with your own money and properties is a great thing, but trying to pressure someone who doesn't feel the same way about their own properties or money isn't right. She's already voiced her wishes concerning her inheritance, and that should be respected. If the family is concerned about the aunt that is pressed for hard times, you should all brainstorm and consider other ways to help her that doesn't involve taking the opportunity or property from an unwilling person. Now, I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 1. And our next story is called, Am I the arsehole for pointing out a girl's acne scars after she repeatedly tried to sell us her MLM products? A girl, 19 female, 19 female, graduated and joined a makeup and skincare related MLM a couple of months ago. At first it was pretty low key, a couple of product posts here and there, but that was it. Then she got heavily involved in her upline's Boss Babe group, and since then my former classmate has become awful. She constantly spams her social media feeds and stories with pictures of the products, claiming things these products can do that are blatant lies. Then she often posts these inspirational talks in which she tries to recruit her followers by filming herself saying how unhappy she was working as a waitress, how happy she is selling MLM products, and that we can also quit our menial jobs, her words, and start working in her team. She also got caught lying about how much money she makes, and she often tries to sell her products to her little sister's minor friends. A big part of this certain MLM scheme is that the sellers offer free skincare consultations via Zoom, where they basically try to sell you their products. My former classmate does that too, and often texts random people to see if they want one of them skincare consultations with her. She specifically targets people with bad skin. One of those people with bad skin is one of my closest friends, Emma, 19 female. Emma has had bad acne since she was 10 years old, and she still has bad acne and acne scars. It's one of her worst insecurities. When the former classmate texted Emma to try and convince her to book one of those skincare consultations with her, the classmate basically texted Emma that she knows how Emma is struggling with acne and that she has just the right products for Emma. Emma declined and told her she wasn't interested in the consultation. Then the MLM girl got her friends who support her MLM business to text Emma to try and convince her and tell her how amazing these products are. Emma declined again, and she told me how awful she feels because she knows how visible her acne scars are if so many people are pointing them out. It all came to a head yesterday. Emma and I went to a restaurant and our MLM classmate was also there. At one point during the evening, the MLM girl came over to us and started talking to Emma about her acne and how her product can help. Emma repeatedly told the MLM girl she wasn't interested, but she wouldn't go away. Now this is where I might be the arsehole. At some point I just snapped and asked the MLM girl if she doesn't use her own products or if the products are just useless because she also has visible acne scars. The MLM girl looked shocked and hurt, but she finally went away. Emma thanked me for speaking up, but also told me that I didn't have to snap that hard at her. So am I the arsehole for snapping at the MLM girl after she didn't go away? Now, I think there's several levels of arseholeness to this post. not from the OP, but from MLM person, because, you know, we all hate an MLM on this channel. And I hate that they just suck these people in. It's almost like an addiction these days. I think you should be diagnosed with MLMness because, you know, I see it on my own Facebook, like these people posting every day, like inspirational posts saying they'll give you a consultation and all this sort of stuff, and it is just sickening to see. And they truly believe they have a great business, and yet I've seen the stats of the person on my post 3 times a day, every day, at least 3 times a day with different things, makeup products and all this kind of thing. And I keep her on there because I'm a nosy bastard, but but she puts so much time into this, and I can see she's made like less than $200 a month, and usually that gets put back into it by buying more of their shitty makeup. You know, it's a shit chain, man. And they have things like on their Facebook, like self-employed as a makeup consultation person or whatever it is, and you just think, no, you're not. Get a reality check, please. They're screwing you over. If you put all that time you was investing into that makeup into something else, you'll be successful at it. I promise you. But they don't do that. Anyway, ramble over. I've gone totally off the rails there. But with the acne scars as well, I had acne up until my early 20s, and you know, it is hard. It's hard to deal with. You get insecure, it causes depression, it causes all sorts. You can feel people looking at you, you can feel people judging you. And for her to keep coming up to her in a restaurant, harassing her about this, making her feel even more secure, makes her the major arsehole in this story. Not you. She needed to be called out for her shitty products and the shitty way she deals with people. So fair play to you. She's the arsehole, not you. And let's go to the comments below. Sweeper1985 says, can't believe I'm saying this, as I predicted the opposite based on the title, but not the arsehole. MLM girl crossed multiple lines, and in the end, it was only your dose of harsh medicine that stopped her from further harming your friend. Honestly, I'm angered just reading the nasty, aggressive tactic that MLM girls stoop to in the attempt to make a buck. Where does she get off? As though a 19-year-old cosmetics salesperson has any worthwhile advice to give about this issue. Am I being punk, says not the arsehole. Thanks for the spit take I had when reading that title, by the way. Basically, if you're going to brazenly harass a woman repeatedly, expect pushback. If you're going to preach about your product, expect people to look at you. No one is going to want to buy a book about sobriety if the author is selling it and slurring his speech. No one is going to buy diet pills from a morbidly obese lady. ETA, I agree with the comment saying you're a good friend. That lady hadn't asked just once, but rudely and repeatedly bothered your friend. And it's pretty much more or the same in the comments below, and I agree. You're a good friend in that post to do that. She may have disagreed, she may be too kind to say so, but I think she needed to be called out. Now, what do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 2. And our next story is from Brohub Truth. Am I the arsehole for telling my sister-in-law the truth about my brother and my husband? I, 29 female, have a husband named Matt, 32 male, and an older brother named Tony, 32 male. Tony has a wife named Anna, 33 female. Tony and I both went to boarding school growing up. I went to an all-girls school, and he went to an all-boys school across the country. Because of the distance, we weren't very close as kids, and I didn't know much about his life back then. When Tony was at boarding school, he met my future husband Matt, and they became best friends. At the time, Tony was dealing with depression about his sexuality, and Matt helped him out of it. Long story short, they ended up falling in love and having a relationship. Once they graduated high school, they broke up and lost touch. I didn't know about any of this at the time. I ended up going to the same university as Matt, which is where I met him. I didn't mention my brother initially because he wasn't really part of my life, and since Tony and I have different last names, the three of us didn't really put the pieces together until a family gathering a year later. I'm not going to lie, it was tough at first for everyone involved, but eventually we were all able to get past it, and Tony and Matt became best friends again. Matt and I got married 3 years ago. When I met Tony's partner Anna for the first time, I privately asked Tony if he told her about his history with Matt. Tony said it was still a new relationship and he would tell her when they were more serious. Now Tony and Anna are married. Since Tony and Matt are so close, they often go on boys trips with just the two of them. They took one of these trips this past weekend and everything was going fine until I got a call from Anna asking if I knew where Tony was. Apparently he told her he was going to see our parents, but she called them and he wasn't there. I told her that he was on a trip with Matt. She got upset and asked me if there was something going on between them, thinking she already knew because she and Tony are now married. I told her not to worry because Matt and Tony's romance ended in high school. That's when I found out Tony never told her. Tony was furious at me when he got back because Anna is threatening divorce and I'm tearing up his family because I told her without asking him first. Apparently Tony didn't tell Anna the truth because he thought she wouldn't let him see Matt anymore, and now Anna wants him to cut me and Matt out completely. Matt is upset too because he can't see Tony and he's losing his best friend all over again. My brother wants to cut me out of his life. His wife wants a divorce and my husband is miserable, all because of something I said. I feel so guilty and can't help but feel as though I messed up. Now there's a rather lengthy edit below this which I haven't read as yet. I'm not sure if it's going to reveal further details, so we're going to judge it from the initial post first of all. And you know, I read a couple of comments already below. I don't usually do that. I was curious to what people were going to say, and like some people were going to say below, it's given me serious Brokeback Mountain vibes. And although you say you messed up, I don't think it's your fault in the end, you know. You're not the one who was keeping the secret. Your brother was keeping the secret and it all came out. Things always come out in the end and they always hurt people if you keep hurtful secrets like that. Especially when you're lying and going on secret trips too. It doesn't help the situation. So I'm going to say not the arsehole in this situation. And let's have a look at some of these comments below. And then we'll go to the edit. Throwaway Judger says, I can't even make a judgment here, but I'd be concerned if I was you. The fact that your brother repeatedly lies to his wife about his guy trip with your husband makes me think you are both in the dark here, and it's more of a Brokeback Mountain situation going on. Reddited says, not the arsehole, because you truly thought Tony's wife knew about their past. I mean, why else would she ask if something were going on between them? Now to the real issue. Why would he give her the idea that something's going on between them if she didn't know about their past? And these boy trips would probably concern me a bit, especially if Tony felt the need to lie to her about it. I would be a little concerned if I were you, at least after reading all of this. Okay, Lizzie says, sorry, I've been a long time lurker, but I need to say something here. Something very similar happened to me with my husband years ago, and it ended our marriage. It wasn't my brother, but his best friend since teenage years, who was the best man at our wedding. I came to think of this guy as my brother. I knew he and my husband had fooled around when they were younger, before I met either of them, but they insisted that was in the past and they didn't see each other that way anymore. After we got married, my husband started bringing his best friend on business trips every other week, even though they didn't work together. My friends told me it was suspicious that the two of them were constantly on these trips, but I brushed it off until I saw that his company wasn't sending him on these business trips, and he had been lying to me about where he and his friend were going all the time. I asked him nicely, played the fool, while he refused to give me a straight answer because I didn't want to be controlling or question his friendship. And then it came out in the open when I got a call from the friend's girlfriend that she caught him in the lie too, and he confessed to an affair. Moral of the story being, trust your instinct if you feel something is wrong. Don't be scared to push your husband into giving you answers, especially if they're as basic as the ones you asked for. I get that you love him and want to trust him, but protect yourself first, not the arsehole. Wow, a story within a story. Now let's move on to the edit to see if anything else gets revealed there. Edit, I really appreciate everyone's comments. Some of them are very hard to read, but I suppose this is a wake-up call that's long overdue. I know it may be difficult to believe that someone my age can be so naive and clueless, but being rational is something I've always struggled with. I wish it were fake. I'm realising that this is most likely far worse than I thought it was. I won't be able to respond to individual comments for a bit, but I'm reading all of them in the meantime, and will post an update when I can. Edit 2, I've seen a lot of comments asking why I didn't say anything about the trip sooner / what I thought they were doing, so I'll answer here for the sake of convenience. My brother has been struggling with pretty severe depression for the past few years. Because of this, he doesn't go out much or have many friends. My husband is his only close friend, and the only one Tony will open up to, because my husband helped him through depression when they were younger. The outings with Matt are one of the few things that makes my brother happy. Matt always told me that they do regular things like play video games and watch movies and go biking, so I didn't think too much into it. Even with Matt being Tony's ex, I thought it was more like Matt was helping his friend through a tough time. I see now how stupid I was to assume that, but that was my thought process. Edit 3, please don't let this post be a justification for homophobia. What happens with my brother and my husband isn't reflective of gay / bi people as a whole. Too true. And edit 4, last edit, wow, I stepped away for a bit, there are a ton of comments. I won't be able to respond individually as there's a lot going on right now, clearly, but I'll still be reading. Before I sign off, I have a couple of quick updates. Matt agreed to tell me everything after I've given him some time and space to process all of this. As much as I, and probably you all, want answers now, that's what I'll be doing. Still no word from brother or sister-in-law. I'm going to give it a rest for the day and try to focus on something that doesn't terrify me. I will be back with a separate update post when things make more sense. Thank you all. Also, I have seen Brokeback Mountain. Evidently, it's a lot more fun on screen than it is in real life. And I had a peekaboo and there's no update as yet. I mean, it was only 16 hours ago and things seem to be moving fast. And there's something clearly going on. As Matt says, he needs to process things first before he talks about it. So there's clearly something deeper going on here. So we shall keep an eye out for that update. So now I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of the story? What do you think is happening in the background? Anything? Nothing? Brokeback Mountain? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 3. And our next story comes from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for asking my husband to turn down his dream job for my career? I'm going to be vague for privacy reasons. Sorry. I, 33 female, am the breadwinner of our household. I have multiple highly specialised degrees for a niche industry. I make 200k plus with the potential to get in the 600 M's range. My company has not been hit that badly by COVID, so most of us has kept our jobs, but we're held to strict standards. My husband, 36 male, has a broad degree / work experience. He quit his job right before COVID hit, hoping for a better job in the meantime, and I was supportive. He spent a ton of time applying to various jobs and finally landed an interview at Organisation X. This is his dream job in almost every imaginable way. I can't be detailed. However, it's paying about 65k a year, which would be fine except this job directly puts my job stability at risk. My company and this organisation are adversarial at best. My field is extremely secretive, and if the clients discovered my spouse was working for a competitor, I would be permanently tainted. I wouldn't be able to get a job in the industry forever. I know this sounds like an exaggeration, but I promise you, it absolutely is not. It'd be like if I worked in protecting the privacy of celebrities and he worked for TMZ. If he tapped my car, got into my work devices, he could use that to advance his career. and any trust I have in this field will be gone. Even if I trusted my husband not to do that, my clients and company don't. Worse, because my background is so specialised, this is the only field I can work in. I asked him to drop from consideration for this job, since if he got it, we'd lose my income. 65k a year cannot support us in this city, plus he does not have to work for this organisation. Even if the job market is awful right now, his background gives him access to a wide range of jobs, but I only have this one niche field. He was extremely angry and said I was selfish and only cared about money. I told him that if he wanted to go back to school for an advanced degree or just be unemployed for a while, I would support him, but taking this job isn't possible. He continued the process behind my back and got the offer. He wants to accept it because he says his career needs to take priority and that I wasn't being their supportive wife. I feel so betrayed, and I contacted all relevant higher ups in my company to inform them. I notified them as soon as he got the interview because it's better coming from my email than from a background check. I told him he could decline the offer, with me watching him physically decline it, or he could accept the offer and move out immediately. I would pay for him to stay 2 weeks at a hotel, and we would begin divorce proceedings. My company is willing to take care of all my legal fees. I feel fucking awful. I still love him. I moved decisively because this was the best way to cut my losses, but it still hurts. He called me heartless and cold. It's true that I was prioritising my career over his, but it felt like the only option at the time. Now first off, at the start when she said I make 200k plus with the potential to get in the 600 M's range, that doesn't mean million, does it? Am I just being an absolute idiot here? That can't be right, surely. But I gotta say, I'm totally at a loss with this one. Like, I don't know where. I kind of want to say, like, the wife is right in this situation because she did say, she gave him lots of options and she even said he can go unemployed for a while, well, and support him while he's looking for a job. I mean, she makes a lot of money, so I'm sure she would be okay with that. And she did say the reasons that it would jeopardize her job, so she'd be pretty much losing her job for the husband's job, so he's prioritizing his as well. You know, it's kind of a mess, but the comments below I think are a lot better than I can actually do in this one, so I'm going to go to the comments below straight away to see what we can find. Firm Campaign 8221 says, not the arsehole. Some are saying that you've decided your job is important than your husband. They're ignoring that he seems to have decided his job offer is more important than your entire career. I was ready to call you an arsehole considering we frequently see people unnecessarily prioritise their career over their spouses when compromise is possible. However, he's refusing compromise. To address the people calling this a trust issue, it doesn't matter if she trusts him. Her company and her clients don't. He knows this and he chose to pursue this job anyway. If she doesn't trust someone who's willing to destroy her entire career for a single job, I don't blame her. Men aren't usually the spouse making career sacrifices for the greater good of the couple. I don't know for sure, but that could be something he's struggling with. Reading Reddit says, not the arsehole, and I wonder if Organisation X will still want your husband once he becomes your ex. Ooh, that could be interesting. Are they just trying to get, like, someone on the inside? Malachi says, not the arsehole, you told him from the beginning that if he took the job, it would end your specialised career. He went ahead with the application behind your back. Regrettably, he put you in the position of choosing between him and your career. I think you made the right choice. You clearly resent what he's done, and I can't see that getting better if you lose everything you worked for. And now I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 4. Once again, guys, thank you for being here today. The time out your day, as I said at the start, is truly, truly appreciated. Please excuse my croaky voice at the moment. Hopefully it's going to get better soon. Making this video was tough work. It's taken me a lot longer than usual. Oh dear. But thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.